Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Temecula Valley Overlanding Adventures. I'm Chris. Hey, so I kind of have a goal today. Those of you that have been kind of following my socials lately, well, you know that about 2 weeks ago, I went on a trip up to Thomas Mountain, and there's a lot of snow up there, and it was all melting. And what ended up happening is some of the ruts got really deep, really fast. And the bad thing about it was a lot of them were concealed by slush, essentially. So on one particular rut, I got sucked right into this rut. It was disguised by what looked like solid snow. And, well, what proceeded was the truck getting stuck for about an hour and a half. I was using max track boards, digging out. Unfortunate thing was this was kind of in a little bit of a incline, so we had melt water coming down through this rut, and anytime I was trying to dig through there, muddy water would get in the way, and I would not be able to see what was going on underneath the truck. So, yeah, that wasn't very good, as you can imagine. Thankfully, a guy named Alex and his family came up the trail with their F-250 Tremor, and they rescued the day. They used their winch and pulled us out. And after that ordeal, we were like, okay, maybe it's time for us to get down this mountain, but we don't want to turn around and go back where we came through and get stuck again. So we continued on through the nearest exit point, which would be further down the Highway 74. Well, at that point I decided, okay, I needed to maintain some velocity. Don't want to get sucked into anything else. Carry some velocity. I mean, we weren't going too fast. We were going like 10 to 12 miles per hour, which for that kind of terrain is a little bit fast. Well, we hit a bit of stretch where there is a sudden angle change, and I knew I was going to high center if I didn't go through there with a little bit of momentum. So I was like, okay, do I want to turn back and have a high risk of getting stuck where I got stuck before, or do I want to go forward and try to get through this? I pressed through and hit the bottom of the truck fairly hard. Yeah, fairly hard, and I didn't know it at the time, but I ripped off my transmission skid. There's been discussions between the dealership and me. There's a possibility. So they definitely did remove the skid in order to gain access to my oil drain. And they might not have put it back on the correct way. I say might because we don't know. I didn't bother to go down there and check after service, and that's kind of on me. But yeah, either way, it didn't get put on right, and when I hit the bottom, it sheared the plate completely off, and it put a lot of stress onto the transfer case skid as well, which in turn caused a couple of the bolts to shear off on the transfer case skid. In fact, the next day when I noticed that my skid was hanging, the transfer case skid was hanging by two bolts. That was it. And I found the remnants of one of the other bolts with the head bolt completely sheared off and the washer for it basically concaved. So anyways, yeah, I'm on my way to the trail, so catch you when we get there. In case anybody was wondering, this is where we got stuck. Looked like it got filled in a little bit, but it was all hidden by a bunch of slush, and well, the ground's a little bit harder now. But we got sucked in through a rut, and I guess the way the road trail grades over here, we just came hard down and ended up with wheels with no traction. It's a very different beast without the snow and mud and all that stuff. Looks like somebody might have put this branch down here to kind of help get themselves out. I'm probably not the only one who got stuck there. Yeah, it's gone. It's definitely gone. This is the tree that Alex marked on coordinates and took a picture of, a satellite photo of anyways, of where the skid plate was left. Now, I doubt he was going to want to climb up this hill while there was snow and stuff to put it over by that big tree, so it's gone. Oh well. Talons Garage, if you're watching this, your skid plates are awesome. Well, friends, I got to get back down this mountain. I have some stuff I had to take care of. But it was a fun day regardless. It might be bittersweet. But, you know, ultimately, I got to get out here away from the city. So, who can complain about that, really? Well, unfortunately, the skid was missing. It was either taken or, well, it was taken. It's just not there anymore. So either U.S. Forest Service has it, and I suppose I could go to their nearest office and see, but most likely somebody else who was on the trail saw this big old hunking aluminum plate and thought to themselves, you know, here's an opportunity to make a couple bucks from recycling. Bummer, I know. That's like $600 down the drain, and plus I would have to get all new hardware for it and seat clips. And the transfer case, that's unknown. I don't know if the transfer case skid, I don't know if it's bent up at all to where it won't go back on. I have to crawl down and actually like put it up in place and see if it'll work. But otherwise, I would have to get a new transfer case skid. So that's potentially another $400. So I mean, all in all, I probably could end up spending another $1,100, $1,200 to replace everything that was lost or broken. Yeah, I might just hold up and do some simpler trails for a while and save up until I can get a big boy lift like the BDS 6-inch with the Fox 2.5 Elites. If I could do something like that, then I probably won't have to worry about getting stuck for the kind of trails I do. Again, the future of the truck is kind of like up in the air right now. Hopefully, I get to do a lot of good stuff with it here in the next year or so. But, I mean, the truck is pretty awesome as it is. It's heavy, and it doesn't have the best ground clearance, so it's capable of doing plenty. It's just you know, not as much as I would like. But I can get that 6-inch lift, boy, with 37-inch tires. Man, the things I could do. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me on this adventure. You stay safe out there. Hit the trails responsibly, and be on the lookout for garbage while you're out there. There's a lot of people that are not very responsible, and they like to just trash these trails. And if we don't do our part to keep these trails clean, the government will take these trails away from us, and that would just be a shame. So guys, gals, do what you can to leave the trail in a better condition than you left it or found it. Yeah. So anyways, like and subscribe if you can. That would really help this channel. And turn on those notifications. I'm going to try to post as much as I can. So anyways, thank you everybody. Have a good one. Bye.